와, 진짜 예쁘다. 안녕하세요. 예스유학의 줄리엣 컨설턴트입니다. 이번에 제가 방문한 학교는 마사추세츠주 Deerfield에 위치한 Eaglebrook School입니다. Eaglebrook School은 자연과 교육이 조화롭게 어우러진 캠퍼스였습니다. 숲과 언덕으로 둘러싸인 환경 속에서 학생들은 교실 안팎을 오가며 끊임없이 도전하고 배우고 있었는데요. 몸과 마음이 함께 성장을 할 수 있는 공간이라는 생각이 들었습니다. 그 결과 여러 유명인들은 이글브룩을 선택했는데요. 대표적으로는 삼성 이재용 회장의 아들인 이지호 씨, 요르단 국왕 압둘라 2세, 배우 마이클 더글라스, 금융인 헨리 크라비스 등이 있습니다. 캠퍼스 투어랑 학생 미팅이랑 그리고 또 담당자분이랑 미팅을 진행을 하겠습니다. 그러면 가볼까요?
Just one more dorms. This one is little, and this is 8th and 9th grade. So our oldest students on campus, of course. But you can see there's always faculty that live in the dorm, and then there are faculty like myself that work out of the dorm, but still have advisees connected. So there's a whole team around that. And then a little common room for each one. There's a gaming system in here actually that we have. Actually, what gaming system is it? Is it a Wii or no? It's not
I think it's Switch.
a Switch. Yeah. So we have video game stuff for them, but we like kind of censor it so it's like at times that we can play as a group,
Right.
and they're not just like on their computer for hours. Yeah. Let's see some of the rooms. Obviously, mostly double rooms. Oh, this looks nice. Let's see how these things look. Not too bad. Well, a little bad. Oh, Henry, he's from Korea. So always the desk, always the bed that they can put at a different height, always, you know, the one little dresser, and that's usually about enough. We do room inspections. You can't tell probably, but we do. And we make sure that they clean, especially on Sunday. We kind of have a reset day where we really do check their rooms. Let's look in the bathroom. All the bathrooms will have like 2 showers or so. Kind of dependent on the dorm, but with the curtain that they can have their privacy, and then maintenance comes in every day to clean the bathroom area especially. They will not go into the students' rooms, so the students are really responsible for cleaning taking out their own trash, at least to the common room trash. So, and then there'll be a couple of singles. Oh, Jason's from Korea. A couple of singles. Oh, he left his light on. But these are kind of reserved for older boys. Jason, a little messy. Yeah, a little messy. So, and then you can see there's always the dorm faculty that lives on the floor. So when they're on duty, that door is open and they can see everything going on the floor. Yeah.
They have laundry service?
They have laundry service. They pack it up on a Thursday and it comes back on Monday, on today. And it's great. I wish I could send it on that rack there. They come back all like neatly pressed in plastic, you know, and I'm like, oh, I wish I could. These cards right here are for Chromebooks, so we lock them up at night. Yeah, so they turn in their Chromebook in here to charge it overnight, so no technology can be in their room whatsoever at night, of course. And then cell phones are also collected for sure and padlocked because they will try to get in there. I know. Yeah, so really the tech times this year are really reduced. We only have tech from, like for example, yesterday they have it for 15 minutes. And I think it's the direction we have to go in, because otherwise they'll be on that device.
All the time.
Yeah, our Sunday used to be that we opened the tech part at 9 a.m. and they all had to be out of the dorm by 1. And yes, we have our facilities open, they can be in the gym, but a lot of them curled in and were on that gaming stuff from kind of 9 to 1 precisely. production at a desk. I think they also always get rid of that energy. So talented. I know, it's really awesome.
Mr. Bull.
Oh, hi, Dr. Choi. This is Julia from Korea, who I'm touring around. And Dr. Choi is amazing, and she plays so well. Another room here, kind of beanbag if they want to be picking up music and listening. So, and we really encourage students to try piano again for the first time. So they may only take it for, one term, but that's enough for them to feel like really proud that they can do the little melody that they want to learn. So. Yeah. Julia from Korea, and this is film if that's okay. Your room. Wendy does everything. She's our department chair. She does the band, the string orchestra, our jazz band. Yeah.
We're gonna get going on Thursday.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. We'll have a lot of meetings in here. Kind of just chilling. The leads just play cards here and kind of out for days. We really don't let them use their Chromebooks for me. We're about to go into the woodshop part here. Okay, we have a woodshop, which is a required class actually for our littlest students, but it's super popular. It's like highly. Can you tell us just the latest project that you guys are doing? I know you do so much. But...
We are doing the folding lap desk, which is it's for their laptops when they're on there. It's their first project. Yeah, it's the demo.
That's nice.
But it's nice. It's pretty simple, but it folds up.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, so you can see they're all building it. And then the other one for the third formers, the demo is this one. So this is their candy dispenser.
Oh.
So that's for the young boys.
That's awesome. Oh, that's so cute.
And so they do this to start, and then we have them do their independent projects, which is something that they decide on their own. Usually they get very passionate about that.
Yeah. I mean, how many kids do you have in this classroom?
Eight per class. Yeah, so my head has to be on a swivel at all times.
Right?
I'm constantly paranoid, so it's good. My blood pressure goes up. Yeah.
Adrenaline actually going on.
Chessboard. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, it's pretty neat what they do. This classroom is stained glass. So we are building things like this in here, you can see, and making those type of projects. So we have an actual stained glass teacher. He's very talented. So that's here.
Yeah, and that's not our requirement. It's just
No, an elective, yes. Big elective program here. This is our photography area. So they're taking and editing photos and doing work with the photos. You will see them across campus, like with their cameras, kind of walking around. And we want them to try things. We just really want our elective programs to be things they try for the first time. Like maybe they don't know they like the arts until they get here and they have to try it. I know, it's so pretty. Yeah. They're truly taking a piece of stone, turning it into like a beautiful project. That table collects all the dust, but they have to wear those aprons because otherwise they really get dirty.
This is beautiful.
I know. And look at what they are producing. I mean, it's really outstanding. And this is another very popular class. So at some point in their life, they get stone carving, if not twice. They try to take it. Yeah, but we're really proud of the electives, I think, because it gives them such a great opportunity to try things. We have the pottery wheels that they use. So yeah, the projects are amazing. Jay's such an amazing potter herself. And what point do they get on the wheel though? We don't start them on the wheel.
So no, I start everybody, whether they've had the class or have worked in clay before or not. I start them all the same. And glazing is very hard for them to understand.
Sure.
So I give them little bowls to practice with. I do a demo. So we do the glazing. Then I can fire them up and they can see the chemical transformation from the heat. These are some of the pieces that the students have done. Wide variety. Wide variety. I've got this boy, Tony. I've got to show you. I usually don't unwrap kids' work, but he did a really nice piece.
I can't believe though. It's really amazing what they take home with them.
And he's the only sixth former in with fourth formers. And I asked him, I said, are you okay with this? And he's like, yeah, we're all peers. We all just really sweet philosophy.
Oh,
And-
Tony.
And he's just doing this really fun,
Aw.
just really organic kind of thing. It's just so much fun.
That's gonna be great.
And this time the theme is mythology because we all come from different parts of the world and we all have like mythology stories. And they all kind of like boil down to the things that scare us and the things we want to protect us from the things that scare us, right?
Yeah.
And so it kind of gives them a level that we're all the same, even though we come from different places. We're more alike than we are different.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank
And
you.
people can come in here on the weekends, so even if they're not in her class yet, they can come experiment with some of the it's pretty small. But you can see they have a Chromebook. That is the one like device that they're allowed to have. Oh, and here, that's great. They're not even using a Chromebook. Yay. That's good. I know we really want them to still like write on paper. Day students will put their items here in these little hubbies and leave that there with them.
And Emily, is this lower and upper academic building?
The littlest ones are third former in 6th grade. That will be across the street, but they still come over here for their electives. So in a way, it's everybody. Yeah. Okay. So up there was our dining hall, and now just remember the boys kind of pour out of there. They come in here, and then we start every day in here with morning assembly. So we'll go in here
Every morning?
every single morning, except a Saturday or Sunday. Yeah. So every academic morning, so the boys are in here, and they're in their assigned assembly seats. So the littlest in front, and as they get older, they sit in these sixth form seats, and we're like very prized to finally get back to the seat. Yeah. So, and then we're in here for a lot of different things, right? We have concerts in here. We will have guest speakers. On Wednesday, we have something called Hilly Chase. It's a speaker series that we have every couple of weeks.
That's super interesting.
Yeah, and they do bring in like really like this Wednesday we'll have an author, but they brought in someone who like works with rare birds, and they brought in their birds, and magician, like just really interesting things to hear about. So the boys still do have to wear classroom dress to that and kind of still look nice. But yeah, their seat will be assigned to them all year long. It's how we kind of do attendance. And then every sixth former, every of the oldest ones, they're in charge of giving one of the morning assemblies. So it's about themselves, and they can choose really any topic that is pertinent to them at this point in their lives, right? If it's travel or a family member, but they give a speech, and you
They
can see.
memorize it?
No, they can
No,
use their
okay,
paper,
good.
but you can see like how many people they have to speak in front of. Like, yes, usually the
Nerve-wracking.
first time they do that ever in their life. So it's a big deal,
Yeah.
and we haven't started those yet. And then, our assembly is only about 8 minutes. So it's like a 6 to 7 minute speech that they have to have prepared. And then this is our podcast studio, which is one of our electives that we have. Oh, he's not in here right now. Okay, so come on in. See if I have the light on. This one. So students can take this as an elective, and then we have a podcast called A View from the Hill, and usually the students who are in the room then are interviewing like maybe the speaker from Wednesday, and they keep that speaker longer. Yeah, and it's just a really fun elective. I'm so glad we offer it. The tech guys are awesome with that, and they're learning how to edit and do that kind of thing, so really neat.
That is so exciting.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the gym for us is much more than just a gym. We'll look in here in a second. First, let's look. This lounge area, every Saturday night, for example, we have our underform students not be able to go back to the dorm immediately after dinner. They are out of the dorm until 8:30. Right. And so this is like a place that is just communal. We'll have movies on here. We can go in here where our rock climbing wall is. I know, they like to play the foosball table together. rock climbing has been really fun.
I feel like it's super popular.
They can change the stones on the rock climbing to be whatever pattern they want. And this I don't know how to keep it, but this is our golf simulator. Yeah! So our golfers, if it is rainy or cold, they can come in here. We do bus the golfers to a separate course. We don't have a golf course on campus, but but a family runs a course nearby, and so we do that. And golf is very popular actually here as a sport. We've had to start offering JV golf right now, and then varsity golf in the spring. Yeah, so nice big squash court area. So nice, yeah. And these are usually the varsity courts where our master players are, so that everyone can watch right here. Yeah. But they'll usually do the introductions in this court, and then this court, the big sport here. Yeah.
Good way to save space.
I know. Yeah, I love it. So Jim always very active, and there is a small, we won't go down there, but there is a small student workout room too. And then over here, so this is, where obviously we have baseball here, football over here, and then what they're doing is they are leveling these fields and putting drainage requirements in, because the football field used to be much lower. So obviously new dining hall. Okay.
Oh, I
new
heard.
dining hall, yes. So we're very excited that this will be in our current one and then the new one. They're gonna have, they're gonna have a teaching kitchen in there as well.
Teaching kitchen?
Yeah, so they could do some classes. We'll start in the dining hall, our current dining hall space, which we are here a lot, with 3 meals a day. We eat them around these round tables with the boys. Lunch is spaghetti, I think.
Okay.
And chicken meatballs.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I love meatballs.
They get their mail here yet, like actual letters. Yeah, and I think those are really sweet, And then when they do have a package, they get that from this room here, but administration opens all the packages. And then this is our dining hall.
Wow.
So, looking in here, it'll be a very different scene later when we're in here with the boys, I promise you. It'll be energetic and bubbling. And so then we sit around the table.
안녕하세요 여러분. 오늘은 우리 이글브룩 스쿨에 왔고요. 오늘 미팅은 에밀리 루커 선생님이랑 미팅을 진행해 보겠습니다. Emily?
Nice to meet everyone. I work at Eaglebrook. This is starting my 12th year, and I teach piano here, as well as work as associate director in the admissions office.
So Emily, every school has a distinct atmosphere. You can often feel it within 5 minutes of stepping on campus. And I definitely felt the welcome and the overwhelmingness of this beautiful campus. If you had to capture your school's energy in 3 words, what would they be? And can you give me a snapshot of why?
Yeah, that is hard because I think there's a lot of things that describe us. First, I would say warm. I think we are a really warm, caring environment because the boys are young. So you will sense that. You will see us greeting every single one, wanting to know about their day. You will really feel that kind of sense of belonging. Inclusive would be another word, I would say. I think even the boys feel that they know this is our one community. We take great pride in even learning each other's names on campus. They're required to wear name tags for at least 2 weeks of school. So the student council is the one that then goes around at lunch to name every single boy's name at the table, and only until they do it is when we get to remove the name tags. So that inclusivity, the warmth, and I think just energy. We are with all boys, middle school boys, it is always full of energy, whether you're in the classrooms or walking between or in the dorms. So I would say those 3 would be how I would feel about on a daily basis.
Thank you for sharing, Emily. We always tell families that finding the right school is about more than rankings or facilities. It's about the feeling and the fit for the students and the family. What is something about your school, whether it's a value, tradition, approach, or even mindset, that genuinely sets it apart from other junior boarding schools?
I think the first thing that comes from my mind is our advisor system. We have an advisor system here where every single boy who is a student will have an advisor. They will have a group of about 6 or 7 of them total then that advisor will look after. And the advisor just becomes kind of that parent away from home. It is a really unique bond. I can tell you that from years of experience, I keep in good touch with my past advisees. You know, we send Christmas greetings and that kind of thing. And the advisor group is really designed so it's very mixed in terms of ages and nationalities, and it really gives the boys another sense of family there. And the advisor is really the one checking in on them, whether it's a simple missed assignment, if it's their birthday that day, we're celebrating with them, but also in some tough conversations, you know, and this is life. We're living our lives here, right? So there are ups and downs, and boys have hard days. And I think knowing that the advisor is this one person that no matter what is going to have that student's back, and be an advocate for him is just something that we do so well, and that we're really proud of. And within the advisor system, we have a lot of fun. We have things called home nights. So on various Wednesdays through the year, we have about 6 or 7 of them. We invite the students into our home. We cook dinner together, and we do an activity on campus. And it's just a way for them to really, you know, witness the shared life that we are living amongst the boys. So we get pretty close through all of that. Yeah, so advisor system pretty unique.
Thank you. Every school has a mission statement, but how that mission actually shows up in daily life is what really matters. Could you share how Eaglebrook's core values or missions are lived out by students and teachers on a normal day?
Yes, I know there is a line in our mission statement that specifically directs the warm, structured, caring environment where boys learn more than they ever thought possible and have fun along the way. And that is one of the lines of our mission that for me resonates on a very daily basis. We've already talked about warm, nurturing environment, but also the structure of it. I think boys feel a very good sense of, I know exactly where I'm supposed to be, exactly what is expected of me. And it really is kind of to the minute. It doesn't need to feel like that, but it does provide a sense of calmness in a way that they know what's expected. No matter who's on duty that evening in the dorm or what night of the week, it will always be that routine. So I think we really provide a lot of guidance for them, but still kind of structure. One boy actually told me best. He said, Eaglebrook tells me when to work and when to play. And I think that's a big part of what we do here. We want them to have fun. They are just discovering who they are. They should be taking fun electives. We're so proud of our elective offerings with, you know, the stone carving and the arts and stained glass and getting them involved, that we just want them to have fun while they're, you know, learning about who they are. So these are the years to do it. That is, I think, the statement that always resonates the most highly out of our mission for me. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. For many of our families, this is their child's first time living away from home. Could you walk us through a typical weekend here at Eaglebrook?
Yes.
What kind of activities or traditions do students look forward to?
Yes. I will say the same for our weekends. They're very structured in a way, which again provides that sense of like, okay, I know what my options are. I know what to do. So boys will still be woken up. We'll still go to breakfast a touch later than a school morning. And then we have a weekend activity, it's called. They get to choose this at an earlier point in the week and kind of rank which ones they want to do. So faculty will lead a session for about just over an hour. That could be something ranging from community service on campus. It could also be something about our affinity groups. We do have affinity groups that based on their nationality kind of get together and maybe watch some anime or have some special food from their country. So that could take place there. And then students are welcome to go back to the dorm. We follow lunch by our afternoon activity period. The students may very well have an away game for their sport. But activity period is when basically all of our facilities are open. They can go to the gym, the library, they can be in some of the art studios. and they're really in charge of what they want to make out of that, you know, kind of couple hour window. And then we turn to the evening. We do not have any structured study hall on a Saturday. We more so have like the kind of fun community building in the dorms on a Saturday. We'll definitely have food in the evening. We'll have the big screen on so they can be watching a movie perhaps with their dorm mates. And then on Sunday is a wonderful, luxurious morning they can sleep in as long as they would like. We do not provide wake up for them on a Sunday.
So nice.
And that's so great because they can finally go to Sunday brunch. We offer brunch from 9 to noon on a Sunday. And then this the same as Saturday, they will have that window of activities. All of these times, though, too, are times when faculty take sponsored trips. So just this weekend, we had students go off whitewater rafting with faculty. We had an art museum trip go. We had a fishing trip go. So the boys can then listen and sign up like, oh, I want to do that, you know, with so-and-so. And they can leave the campus with those faculty sponsored trips. So they have a lot of opportunity. And we always end our weekend then with Sunday meeting. It's a really special Eaglebrook tradition where we do a very thorough clean of the dorm and their rooms, and we get kind of prepped for the week. The boys end up wearing their formal navy blazer and their formal dress, and we go down to the assembly area where we hear a speaker for about a half an hour. It's a really good, just kind of meditative way for them to get with their thoughts again, think about the homework they have left to do, kind of revive for the week. And then we have our formal Sunday meeting dinner, and it's a lovely meal. And then they go off and have their final study hall of the evening. So kind of that reset that we have. So if they do leave campus with parents or friends, they need to be back for that Sunday meeting. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Wow, weekend activities.
Lots to do. Yeah.
Food is such a central part of daily life. I know it is for me.
Yes.
And also for many students. It's also a comfort and a cultural bridge. How would you describe the dining experience at your school? And are there any food traditions, themed meals, or fun quirks that make it unique?
Yeah, that's such a great question. I know it's central, and we really are eating mostly 3 meals a day with the boys, you know, around our round tables. So it's important, a lot of topic of conversation. They do an excellent job with the food. I love it. They really focus on local organic ingredients from many of the farms that are around here. So the quality of food, first of all, is quite high. I often think, oh, I could get this better at Eaglebrook than if I go out to a local restaurant. So that's awesome. And we have some fun traditions. We'll always have a Friday night buffet so they can come with their dorm and friends and they don't have to sit in that structured style around the table.
Right.
So that's fun. It's always a theme then on Friday with what it will be. Same for the Sunday brunch. They can come with their friends. They kind of strategize sometimes, you know, who to meet when. And then we do some really things in the year that are also pretty major for us. We have a Lunar New Year dinner that is just spectacular. It is a really big tradition for us to host that for the school. Everyone wears red. We have special place cards and settings. We have dragon dancers come in from a local college and they go between the tables with the big drumming and the music. And so that is a really special evening. I think that like the whole school looks forward to, but for our students that celebrate Lunar New Year, such a special tradition to still be able to have that away from home and not feel like they are missing that.
Right.
So we do our best. And, and when another affinity group has a special day, it was just Mexico, their Independence Day. Oftentimes we will do a special announcement in the dining hall about this food and why it's originating in that way. And they handed out a certain candy after that meal. So we do try to incorporate the students' cultures as much as we can.
That's really special.
Yeah.
I've heard that at some junior boarding schools, students are involved in dining hall jobs,
Yes.
dorm roles, or small leadership responsibilities. What kind of responsibilities do students take on at Eaglebrook? And what personal growth do you see come out of those roles?
Yes, okay, a lot of things. And you said it spot on. They will have roles in the dining hall. So our 6th form, our oldest boys, will have the most leadership roles on campus because that's really what we've been striving to kind of teach them through the years. So they are our dining hall proctors. We will all choose a 6th form student to kind of lead our table. For example, if the faculty faculty is running a second late from a meeting, that student is kind of holding down the table. They're the ones who serve the food to the students at the table, and kind of just grant permission, you know, if a student's like, you know, can I go to the bathroom? They ask the proctor before getting up from the table. So kind of that lineage there. And that roles in the dining hall, yes, they extend to our underformed students who are waiters and assistants. So they're kind of going in and get the food, picking up the plates, and just making sure they know, like, yeah, this takes all of us to run the dining hall. I'm not just sitting here. Yeah. And that's really special. We also do dining hall setup. So on a Monday night, we will call a couple of different advisee groups to stay for dining hall setup. And the boys are responsible for really setting all the place settings and the silverware at their table, wiping down the tables as well. So dining hall, for sure, essential role of their leadership. In the dorms, we see it all the time. We will have proctors as well on the floors. Our oldest students, though, do a lot more in the dorm about taking care of the younger boys. Our dorms are mixed, so the younger boys live amongst the older, not as roommates, but just within the dorm. And we practiced tying ties the other day. So every boy had to do their tie. We wear the ties a lot for Sunday meeting. They had to help the younger boys. I was just in there yesterday and getting ready for Sunday meeting. I had to send a boy to one's room saying, okay, you help them with the tie, and they help those roles when the younger boys need that guidance. So we might also say, you know, proctor, I need your help collecting the cell phones on the floor, you know, let's go. And they can kind of pick up the pace for us and help with the other students. So I think always stepping in when the faculty needs their support, and just having the younger boys really observe the older boys' behavior. We will really hold them to that standard, you know, of having their trash out of the room and making sure they know that that's expected of them, that the younger boys will be watching that. So yeah, that behavior is just always watched, right? Even amongst the classrooms in the dining hall, because the boys are mixed in with their electives too. So
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You've probably met so many different kinds of students, whether they're shy, bold, academically driven, or athletes. But is there a common thread among the ones who truly thrive here at Eaglebrook?
That's a great question. I would say we want a curious student, okay? Curious student to be able to try things and not be afraid to try new things. I think we just want students to know it's okay if you don't have it all figured out, right? It's okay if you need to learn how you work best. So I think someone who's just still curious about who they are and know that they're growing is going to do really well here and thrive. Someone who wants to try everything, right? Try our outdoor offerings and do a trip on the weekends and try fishing for the first time. If they're scared and timid to do new things, we're going to keep pushing them here. And for some, it takes a little longer, but if they're naturally just inquisitive and kind of curious, we have students from all over the world. We want them to talk to each other. So they need to be curious to make a new friend and not be afraid of that, to get outside of their culture and outside of what they have done. So I think curious would be my top word for like a boy that will really just find their footing here well. Yeah.
We work with students from all kinds of academic backgrounds at YesYu학. Some who are very fluent in English, and some are still building their confidence. How do you support international students academically at Eaglebrook?
Yes, absolutely. That is very common, you know, that students need that practice with their English skills to really feel that they're okay here. I think, first of all, it's going to come much more naturally knowing they're going to be talking around the dining hall table and using English all the time. But academically, we do have an academic support class. It is one of their elective offerings that they're able to take. It's usually something we kind of handpick, though, that between us and the family and our skills department, we're going to know, okay, yes, this student could really benefit. So that academic skills class would be a maximum of about 1 to 3 or 4 students in the class, and it's going to set them up for the student to work with the teacher one-on-one and kind of be able to start their homework in a more methodical, slow way. Sometimes they just need help starting, right? And they don't have that skill yet. So building that skill with the teacher is really helpful. So academic skills for sure. We do offer ESL here, and those classes too are very small, 1 to 3 students, where they're getting that extra support and practicing. So they wouldn't be taking another foreign language yet. They would still be just in their ESL skill class. Yeah.
Good.
And then, yeah, those taper off, and we kind of just keep assessing with that department if they need that for how many terms in their career here. Yeah.
Thank you. We're often asked about the numbers first when families come to us.
Sure.
So could you share what percentage of your students are international and how many Korean students currently are attending at Eaglebrook?
Yes, we're about 45% international students. Yeah, and they're just worldly students right now. They really are. They live in a variety of places, right? And then this year we have about 31 students from Korea.
Wow. Some Korean parents are unsure about the all boys model at first until they see the results. From your experience, what are the biggest advantages of an all boys education at this age?
Yeah, I see a lot. I see, first and foremost, the friendships that they are making here. It is like nothing I've ever really witnessed before. And I will tell you that it is like a brotherhood. Like they are building strong peer friendships. And I will say, even going to different alumni reunions and things when the boys have long graduated, they will often reference Eaglebrook being the strongest bonds they made out of secondary school and college. Wow. And that's just really something that we're proud about. It's just happening organically. Right. I think the natural way that boys can just be themselves here is something we also see. We want our classrooms to be really hands-on. We want them to get up and move if they need to in the classroom, that energy that we always see from them. So you will find our classrooms, you know, in kind of a circular style, or classrooms like our innovation lab where they can just walk freely. Even when I teach piano, I want them to move amongst the practice rooms and hear their peers play. So I think that hands-on learning is really appropriate for boys. And I think, lastly, I think about just the ability for them to just try things and be themselves without having to impress anyone. They can, you know, join the chorus, they can take the art classes, they can do all the things and still be this amazing athlete and have this dual sides to them where they're finding out who they are as a student. So I think that kind of no pressure aspect of like, you know, having anyone else to impress, you know, really goes a long way. And I do see it. I do see them very involved and willing to do that kind of thing with their peers. So it's fun. It's a lot of energy all the time. They're constantly hungry. But it is, yeah, also really fun. So yeah, a lot of benefits.
Thank you so much, Emily. So you've seen so many applications over the years. Some are polished, some are a little rough, but many are full of potential. Is there one piece of advice you wish every applicant understood before starting the process, whether it's about interviews, essays, or mindset, now that, you know, the 2026 fall applications are finally open?
I know. I think for us, we always want to see a really authentic student in the interview. So we don't want them to feel scripted. I know it can feel good to practice with them, but at the end of the day, if they feel too rehearsed, I want to make sure I'm knowing the real boy. So I'm still going to ask other questions that gets them out of that rehearsed mindset. So I would say, you know, think about, you know, what they want to express about themselves. But when they walk in here, I always say, I just want to get to know you. That's literally all I want from this. It's a conversation. So I don't want them to feel any nervousness. So, and we know that they're still growing and there's academic skills to, you know, build upon. They're not perfect when they walk in that door. No one is. So, so yeah, just to, you know, be your authentic self, I think. Yeah.
We know how powerful it is for Korean families to meet the admissions team in person and you. Whether it's at a fair, whether it's a school visit, or even a one-on-one meeting. Are there any upcoming plans for you or your team to visit Korea this year or next?
Yeah, I know. I'd love to go back to Korea. Our head of school usually does a trip in Asia in our June months. So that has happened, and he does as much visiting as possible, usually with a member of admissions team and some other faculty. So that has been completed for this year, and I've had a great time. So it's usually his visit in June that happens. Yes.
One of the first questions we hear from Korean families is, is, where do students go after they graduate?
Mm-hmm.
Could you share where your Korean students have typically matriculated for senior boardings in recent years? Are there any trends, popular choices, or success stories that stands out to you?
Yes. I know that is such an individual process for our families. I will say we have a whole list of all of the schools throughout New England that families have gone to. And some, right across the street to Deerfield Academy. Really great. But it is really unique. I can't give a percentage. Every year is so different. There's wonderful schools that these boys are going to. And I think what they know from us is kind of what kind of a kid they're getting, what kind of an Eaglebrook boy they're getting when they apply there, because of our reputation and because of the bonds we have built in that office. So that part feels really good to me. In our secondary school advising office here, we'll start working with our students in the spring of their 8th grade year to start getting to know them on a deeper level. And the family then in the summer of the 9th grade year going into school, they will have a private Zoom already with that office to just kind of think about, does the family have ties to a certain school, or do they have expectations, and to start building that file on the student. So by the time that they're really truly sending out that application, which is really sequentially done here at Eaglebrook, they help them through every step of the process. I really feel very confident about what they're sending out and who we know that boy to be and what would be the right fit for him. So,
thank you.
Yeah.
You've seen many students walk through your doors over the years, each with their own journey and transformation.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a student story, personal memory, or a moment that has stayed with you, or even something that also captures the heart of Eaglebrook?
I know, so many wonderful students to think about. Sometimes I just think about the boys that I've had that took a little longer to find their footing, in terms of, it's winter term now, and I still want them to get more involved, and I want them to really kind of latch onto campus more. And sometimes it just takes students a little bit longer, and there's nothing wrong with that. What I do feel from that is the great satisfaction of kind of feeling when that boy feels like, oh, I kind of get this. Like, everyone really is watching out for me, and everyone really does want me to do my best and try new things. And they kind of feel like it clicks finally. And you see that boy just start to emerge. And I'm thinking one in particular that was an advisee. All of a sudden he won the end of year music award for his violin playing. Wow. All of a sudden he just thought, let me kind of immerse myself in what is here and take advantage. And then it just kind of started to go. So I think knowing that from their perspective, we're not going to ever give up on them. If they make a mistake, that's what we're here for. This is the years to make the mistake and try again. We're never going to just say, forget it. We're going to keep going with them. So there's some powerful things that come then from the student finally realizing it for themselves. So
before we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to share specifically with Korean parents, especially for those who might be exploring junior boarding school or considering Eaglebrook?
Yeah, goodness, I know. Please come visit the beautiful campus is what I would say first and foremost. You want to feel good when you leave here and a sense of family and belonging. And you can only get that when you're here on campus. And if you don't feel it, then you need to look and keep looking for the right fit for your student. I feel like that is really powerful to be here. I know families miss their child greatly, this far away, and I will just say that we're just so involved. You have to, be building that trust with us, but I will almost guarantee that you will have that experience built almost within the summer months before you arrive on campus, that you will know you're a student's advisor and their place here and know who to contact. So those kind of little things that I know we worry about, they will be handled. So please know that. And then just know, the students miss their food from home, but we have the Korean affinity group and we try to do dinners with them and get them involved. So they're okay. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking
You're so
the time
welcome.
to speak to me, Emily. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.